very well as well. It was just the gameplay. The gameplay is not looking good enough right now for DK. And it's the world champions that need to step it up. I think aiming, you know, got caught a couple of times there by Olds. But again, as we highlighted, I think he still played the cleanest game out of everyone. Lucid, because his support kept exploding, was tasked with starting the fight, but as Pantheon, if you use all your tools to go in, as soon as your E is down, you're just going to get focused and die. And then Chiu, kind of the same. Tried to do as much as he could, but just couldn't really stand up to the very angry Toaster on the enemy team. We'll see if DK can turn it around, because if they get 2-0'd by KT here, it's hard to imagine where the bottom is. This is a team that is very, very reliant on the vibes. It's something we can very clearly see in their game-to-game performance. And it would be a crazy drop-off. I don't think any of us expected them to actually maintain the form they had at LCK Cup, right? Like, we all knew that at some point that would be a bit of a drop-off, but losing to KT here now, even with Perfect coming back after a bit of a break, would still be a very painful loss. Do you think the draft that KT had was also perfect for KT, right? The Yone, the Rumble for Perfect, Kazan is Nidalee. Is the Perfect Gwen going to still be prioritized?
Where's the
already taken away? Might get picked up here?
I mean, Talia just not prioritized. I thought, you know, with some globals banned away, maybe they wanted some more power.
I don't, because I know he's looking at Viego, because you can cancel the Lilia ult. I don't think he should, as this is the new standard. And my read is also that this dissuades the Lilia pick, or the Talia pick rather, right? Because trying to play it into Ryze, she can actually match, or he can actually match your roaming potential with his ultimate. He has a really good wave clear, and if you try to get in range of him and you eat a full combo, you're not going to win the trade, even if you do get the flick back. So for Showmaker, maybe an AD pick is the answer, but what is he going to play to pair with this Lilia?
Well, we're going to see Jace first.
We don't know. Could even still go to Showmaker. But I do think it's most likely just going to go to Shiyu.
Yeah. Tryndamere?
I don't hate
Camille.
I don't even hate the Tryndamere. I don't think that you should pick it up here, though.
Faker was playing mid Camille last night on a stream. I was watching that.
Look at that.
But it's not going to be that.
They'll just bring in the tech. Oh, don't let it be mid Corki.
Mid Corki.
Well, this could also be aiming Corki, which I think AD carry Corki is fine. Doesn't excite me, but it's okay. Mid Corki, I think, is dead, and we should let him be. It's the Wukong to come through.
Yeah.
Really good matchup into playing on a Jace on the enemy team. Not the best in the Lilia specifically. Obviously can get a top of her, but don't get quite as much value from the armor and the AD neutering parts of his kit. But the team fighting, looking good here, and then most likely just gonna look for, what, Rel, Nautilus, Leona for Peter. A big chance that all of them get taken away.
Ezreal, first to be taken away.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I really do like the Wukong when you've got something with very reliable lockdown.
Maybe Xayah
I like that with the Ryze.
Or they could pick up Xayah themselves. KT could. Although I don't love Xayah. I think against both Gwen and Wukong, you know, if you're Xayah and you press R but they're on top of you, like you're just gonna die. So
yeah,
get out. But I know that
down.
That's not the read that many of our LCK teams will have. And then we have the Rel, like Rel, Leona, Nautilus, still open for our engage supports. Rakan's gone, which is good, because that was not...
Yeah, I think we saw enough of that in game one.
Well, I'd be willing to give Peter a shot. Not Beryl, though. That's okay.
Poppy. It's a pretty good shot. I think Poppy just, in general, is strong. And into Wukong.
Talia is still open.
Yeah. Talia just ignored.
It's good into both Gwen and Wukong. Does obviously struggle into the Ryze, so maybe that's enough reason for Showmaker not to pick it up.
Braum.
As it is Braum banned away.
I mean, you got rockets, you got shock blasts flying at your team.
What are you going to pick here? I don't want it to be Xayah, but it might be. For Dokdom here.
Maybe they just pick support. There we go.
I mean, Braum's gone, so makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Could see Beryl go for Rel. Beryl. Like Rel Corki bot.
And what's Showmaker playing then? Xerath?
I don't know.
Victor?
Well, that will give us our answer. Damien Kai'Sa, once upon a time, his best pick. I don't love it with this setup, so it's going to be Nautilus most likely.
Yeah, you need some kind of hard engage. I feel like it's very slippery, and if you run Cleanse, you can do well into this comp, but you might not have a fun laning phase.
Rel for the team fight power. Well,
yeah, Rel.
Rel and Lilia. I have to do a lot of heavy lifting here because this comp, it doesn't really come together for me. Whereas for KT, kind of love this. Good engage, solid matchups.
Yeah. Love the Jhin here.
Yeah, it's the DK bot lane, right? Can go matching skins if you want. Rob Barrel's face in it.
Yeah, they should, honestly.
I feel like it'd be fun.
Just for the mind games. We'll see if that Daejun power will help him out here.
Gotta need something, because this draft, the mid Corki for Showmaker, it doesn't inspire confidence, Valdez, but I've been surprised by drafts before. Let's hope we can get the free gamer.
Let's see if we can do exactly that, or will KT just shut the door? Let's jump onto the rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, game number 2. DK, I hope that whatever they went over in the coach's room actually helps them this time around. Because loss streaks are not easy to get over for any team. Even one that's had a lot of success in the past doesn't necessarily mean that they'll always have success. There's always ups and downs. And certainly does feel like DK is on a bit of a downswing. Perfect timing for KT to swoop in and pick up a 4th win. Or does DK come back to life?
Yeah, I was just a week early with my KT prediction. Maybe that was it. If they 2-0 here today, I will... Should have seen it coming.
Yeah. They were due, right? They were due. It's just you were one bet ahead.
Unfortunate.
After you lost the last bet, you should have doubled down. You know, should have been like, well, they're still due.
Like I do with my pro points.
Yeah.
Well, I don't, but if I would.
We are fighting over this. It doesn't look like KT wants to give it over. A lot of damage already in the Lucid.
Because it's level 2, yeah, they gotta
back away.
Oh my god, that is not how you want that to start.
No. No, it's not. Nothing crazy here with the grasp on the Gwen.
I'm also just kind of baffled because yes, you will have mid prio, but it's not like your level 1 is a lot stronger. I don't think. Like Leona is not that strong, obviously, so that's a window of opportunity you do have. But Lilia level 1, still a pretty decent cooldown on the Q, so actually takes you a good amount of time. Now, Lilia is a really strong farming jungler once you get your first item. So anything that delays that, I think actually has pretty big repercussions. Lucid will be fine, you know, it's not the end of the world. But he is going to be a little bit behind as the Showmaker.
Oh, the flash on in. If BDD doesn't flash that, I think he just dies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So good call from BDD. Nice look from Showmaker. I think the fact that Showmaker was playing like a madman the entire time up until that point kind of led BDD to believe that he would go for that play. And he gets the right read and survives because of it.
Cuz.
Where are you going?
Oh,
he's warding.
I'm wondering if he missed like a wolf. I think he didn't hit 2 until he actually cleared the raptors. Not sure what happened there.
Well, he was 2 when they were fighting over the blue, right?
Well, yeah, but you can just get like the big wolf and be Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
so
until he got to
lost.
Raptors, I think he was. I'm not on, but I'm pretty sure he was level 2, which would mean he would have dropped some minion or some monster rather at some point. Lucid can adjust his pathing, does a prio in top, so we'll be able to pick this up. As mentioned, with Lilia, your clear is still solid. You are obviously still an AP jungler. One big advantage they have is that they get to cycle through their camps pretty quickly, but the delay is still going to be a big deal. The lane is looking a lot better this time around, though. And Shiu, the last game, the Ambassador didn't quite get it done. It wasn't his fault, but it wasn't enough to find the win. His barrel is very far up, and Cuz is here.
Yeah, we'll see what he elects to do. He does crash down, and he has flash, so I think he's just fine, but does have to use his flash. Meanwhile, speaking of no flash, BDD, bit of trouble.
Flash?
He's very fast, and Lucid can't really get in range, so...
Yeah, unless he commits the flash, but because the bot side play, good call, I think, for DK there not to go too ham. Could have been a punish to come through, and they're fine now, even though Lucid is a little behind. If they flip that play and it doesn't work, they're in deep trouble. Nice trade from Shiu. Staying away from... Oh, I say...
Well.
I think he's still fine. Still sitting on Cookie. Perfect's on 2 as well, but Showmaker is playing very angry. I think he also...
Assassin Corky.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with his Game 2 performance, or a Game 1 performance, rather.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great. Like,
it was not.
He never had a proactive Azir move. His divides were very lackluster.
Got caught in a few of the fights.
Yeah, like he did good damage, but it was mostly just because the enemy team was running straight into them, you know.
He also has Leandris and he's Azir, right? So, like, the opportunity cost is very...
It's a long game, he got death cap, like, it's just kind of...
Fake stats.
Fake stats. So he's back with a vengeance. She was missed like 3 shock blasts in a row. Imagine if those actually hits. Instead, he's still dominating lane. So
it's fine.
The nerfed Gwen, I don't think he's losing lane because of the nerfed Gwen, but the Jace continues to be a menace in the top lane.
Should be an easy Drake setup. Lilia, a lot of percentage damage. Faded Ash is done. Cryo in both mid and bot lane. And Cuz pathing towards the top side of the map. So early Drake means that DK can do this and still be set up for the eventual 8-minute spawn of the Grubs. I do kind of like the pace change from not having the Grubs at 6 anymore. I kind of enjoy it. You know, maybe we'll get tired of it.
Yeah.
We're just on the first day of the season. You're like now.
Well, the thing is, okay, so Perfect comebacks from his TP.
Where's the thing?
And here's the thing.
Okay.
Sure. It just reminds me of like old League of Legends. Very slow early games. As now we're going in. Nice crash down, but Showmaker not in the best of spots, and he also doesn't have his flash, so he's gonna go down. And that's first blood of but Shiu is dunking on the enemy. He's trying to get it done, but the needles are coming through, and now Shiu's in a rough spot. He gets taken out. And it's 3v2. Peter is pretty low. Some burn damage coming through. KT's still going to go in on this one, but so will DK. Thinking they have the damage from the Lilia, but it's going to miss. The Eve is not going to hit, and now Lucid just on the chase, but instead he's denied everything. It's a double for Cuz, and KT again take the lead.
And DK flipped the game early on, and it starts with a tragedy. Showmaker gets caught. So much of the damage immediately out. If Lucid is 6, this fight is a complete blowout, but Showmaker, you can't walk up to Leona like that. Gets hit by the Zenith Blade, dies immediately, and then Shield wants to try and go. If that Q from Lucid's hit, there are a lot of maybes here, but none of them matter. Sustain from Perfect in this fight ends up being a big difference maker, and right here, had they gone and actually got enough damage down on Perfect, might have been enough, but it's Gwen. Like, she's gonna heal so much in these early fights, and then even if that E hits, it doesn't matter. Enough mana. And they know how big of a win this is. KT needs this desperately, but so does DK.
Well, we knew they had it in them. Not everyone believed, but seeing it now, it feels like...
And that's the comfort zone.
The hype train is back. Or KT ROLSTER.
After a great laning phase. Just got outplayed there. Peter. Ox already gave some credit. KD didn't look the most impressive as a... Oh, God.
Aiming is going in. BDD is Rise. So a trade of ults, you could say. And BDD doesn't really care so much about that. Beryl does
a flash. Oh!
Oh, okay. Gonna flash the bowling ball.
That was a big win, but price is being paid. On the map, the grubs are being taken. And there might be a dive angle onto Shio as well. Kazas is Cyclone available. Aiming, I guess, is going to get this. But you can see as well, the desperation is kind of getting to DK. Like Shio flashing in there on that previous play, trying to burst people down in hammer form. Aiming, just ulting on top of BDD. Sure, he had Lucid in the area, but the KT fans seeing the early lead, looking at their champions, feeling pretty good right now. 3 kills for a Wukong. Eldas. Best scaling junglers in the game.
Yeah. I think he'll take that. That's a decent amount of mixed damage on DK, but still now, oh, he's gonna jump over him. Still gonna hit him with the lance, but flash it in, perfect! Does it again! And I don't know if Beryl's got the damage here. Maybe he barely does, but oh, 1 grasp, it's not gonna be enough. And Beryl at least trades a kill, but that's not a good feeling.
Can't miss those. Can't miss that W. He does. The perfect just gets the counter kill. So, and Shu doesn't even get the kill. Onto the Gwen. The only upside is that the wave will be crashed. That is a lot of resources being not given to Perfect. Oh, Cuz gets them, so he'll still be happy.
The real character.
The continued struggles for Beryl here. Because the idea behind that play is great, but
dashes it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Beryl eventually is able to get the kill, but you're going to be very happy about that sequence of events if you're Perfect.
He didn't say anything the whole time. He's just furiously chewing gum.
He's locked in. He's locked in.
I mean, it's his re-debut back to the LCK.
Yeah.
Like, it's not actually a debut, but like he got benched for casting because he was playing poorly. So,
and he was?
Again, if there's anyone who had something to prove today, it was him. And maybe Showmaker. Right? Showmaker's a little bit of a different case.
Showmaker and Beryl still haven't proven anything. Perfect, though.
Well, in terms of people that had something to prove. Perfect's doing it.
Yeah. Very true.
Showmaker and Beryl are still waiting.
I'm sure they're getting the proof. Any day now, it'll be released.
Yes.
Hopefully in this game, so we don't go home early. I don't want a 5-gamer, Veldas. That's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, the cringe 5-gamer.
Yeah.
When you expected it to be 6.
Yeah.
I know that feel. I know you're not very familiar. From back in our Challenger days, you and Atlas getting the based 9-game days.
Yeah, so based.
And me and Wolf and I never did.
No, we definitely were never delirious.
That just made for a better cast.
Yeah.
It was worth it in the end.
Yundo was with us on those 9 games. He does not remember them fondly.
Well, it's a different feel. As this time, Beryl is going to be able to peel for them pretty nicely. Perfect does have more needles, though, and maybe Perfect just goes down here as Peter is getting pretty low himself. Both of the supports will eat it as Aiming and Perfect trade a kill. And that's about that.
I don't think you're super happy about that. I'm also wondering what is happening to Lucid. Is this I haven't really been able to keep track of the jungle, but is it Cuz just being able to continuously get these evades up? Evades is kind of what it feels like, which makes sense with the prio they've been having.
Sleep on a BDD.
Play to work.
No flash, and you're up against 2. I don't think he's getting out of this one. Shock blast to the face. Shu picks up his first kill. Maybe the 0-2 into comeback arc for Shu?
The craziest thing is when you look at this game state,
DK
for
DK,
it's yeah, they're well, I think when this wave gets, but they're basically even, right? But you can feel the difference. And I understand because you're downing kills, you're downing grubs, you got 1-to-1 in dragons. There's an enemy Gwen that's fed, there's an enemy Wukong that's huge. So it's understandable. 2-item spike is going to look very juicy for DK once Showmaker and Shiu hit that. But it's based on the play of DK, where it just doesn't feel like they have a lot of confidence and where they're just making these and a desperate plays continues this loose. He just wants a camp. And he can get it.
Oh no, he flashes and he's still gonna die. Everybody was here, and they hand the kill over to Duckdom too. He's gonna feel great. This Jhin, you know, was behind aiming, was about 800 gold ahead.
He knew, and Lucid.
How they're getting played to top.
So I'm saying, it just looks tilted, right? Just wants to grump, wants to get resources so he gets to play the game, but not happening. KT pushing their lead. Hey, it might actually happen, Feldes. Might be able to stay the magic line.
Well, I'll believe it when I see the Nexus fall. Perfect gonna miss
Very valid.
everything. Well, he hit the minions there. Give him credit for that. Man, he's actually a level behind. It's not a lot of XP, but currently down a level to the Jace.
Technically a level behind. Yeah, that is true.
I mean, the number is one lower.
That
the
is,
XP is like,
no, it is.
I don't know, 200?
Like, yeah,
I don't
not a lot.
XP numbers are difficult.
You know who would know?
Papa Smithy.
Or Ox, yeah. I mean, Ox is a more recent. Still
It's just
here.
that in the past we would always Papa Smithy's more like the lore guy. Like he knows exactly what happened in like 2013 games and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ox is definitely more of a numbers guy.
I do know that, but only for Challenger.
That's why I asked you before, you know, who was in Challengers the longest. I think it is Lucid.
For these players on the Rift, yeah. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, no, he's going to be smoked down. He's trying to avoid the knockback, and he does have his flash. I think he's just, oh, the predict! He's so on his game tonight. Just makes him look silly, and they get the flash.
And it's been the top jungle duo that was a big reason as to why DK was able to have some big performances, but right now they're the ones crumbling. Combined 5 deaths of Shio and Lucid. He's not able to stave off, and the flashes into dying for both of them on these back-to-back plays. TDD going to shove in. I'm pretty sure getting the turret as well. And KT, they're just looking good. Plays across the map.
Yeah. It feels like aiming is trying his best.
Oh, yeah.
He's been the only guy ahead 2 games in a row.
What can you do? He's, as you're saying, giving it his all. I still can't believe that Shio is barely behind. I don't really understand. I guess it's just plates. And he's like up, what, 10 CS maybe? Yeah, 20, but he's down a kill and an assist.
Let's see it. Let's go for him.
Yeah,
Got him okay.
Yeah, he was, oh man.
플레이트 당했네.
I got hit by the predict.
Yeah, he knew.
Since you should have flashed downward. Hindsight's 20/20. Even then, maybe they just dive the turret and he dies anyway. I was thinking he was going to save his flash.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling as well. But clearly BDD knows better than both of us.
Well, if he's going to use it, it would be that way. So good read from BDD, who is not going to stick on a catalyst. Just buys a bunch of items and finishes that Roa. It's Ocean Soul again. Big rotation up to this Rift Herald as well, while KT is taking the Dragon. All of DK around, but you can see that they're not really fully committing to this. Like, they're DPSing it, but she was going mid.
This is a must-win fight for DK. If they lose this one as well, I think the lead is just going to be too big to deal with. KT's going to get too far ahead.
Purple's going 1v1 with Showmaker right now. Meanwhile, we got a catch on the bottom
There's no
side.
flash.
Fuse is dead! He's taken out before the fight even really begins! And now Lucid is being sniped down, trying to play a bullet hell, but he can't get away! And Barrel's not able to block. Wouldn't have mattered either. The needles were coming over the top, and that is 3 kills just like that, basically for free for KT.
That's it. That should just be it. KT's about to 2-0 DK. Feldes.
I can't believe it.
They didn't even get even the Herald wouldn't have made that play good, but like, it's just a cascade of disaster.
Oh, man.
Shio gets engaged on by Cuz, dies instantly. Herald at the last second reset. So
Last shot.
yeah, so he can't get the smite. Beryl can't quite protect his Lilia. And with that, Herald goes over. Leads are, and unless KT start chain giving away shutdowns, I think we're about to witness a clean 2-0, nothing to see here. After KT have just been in complete shambles of the back of some amazing performances from Cuz, BDD, and Perfect.
Whole team is rolling. You know, not everybody's the main character. I feel like even Duckdom in these games from ahead has been very serviceable. He's been doing his job.
I'm fine.
His Jhin this game has been great. He's not the main character. He's not going to win POM, but he's doing good too. It just feels like KT have turned a leaf. I don't know what it was. Maybe just losing the T1. We're like, okay. And obviously some of it is that DK aren't playing their best game, but it certainly does look like KT are really, really, really playing much better.
Yeah, still no notes for aiming. I don't really feel like he's... This is starting to turn into a Berserker situation.
Ooh.
With Lucid really struggling. Chia really struggling. But I keep going back to the two players, the veterans on the team, kind of supposed to be the glue holding together the ship, but the ship is floundering. Veldus is not doing too hot.
Anyone like a vision score graph?
I prefer CC score personally.
1985 CC
Any
score.
of my Challenger fans out there? That's a real stat from 2023.
Those are the best. Do they have that still, or did they get rid of it?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure they do still have it.
Nice. Well, we got a 1v1, and she was actually not that far behind. Like, it feels like it should be so much farther behind this Gwen than he is. And he is behind, about 400 gold, but he's at least able to keep up. He's hiding on bush, as we can see in the minimap. But it does look like Perfect's not going to overstay his welcome. Going in onto Barrel. Honestly, I feel like they can kind of just go for whatever picks they want. Even the Solar Flare comes through. And the rest of the team is not going to follow up on that.
It's also, looking at the current game state, we're kind of left wondering, what is the comeback win con?
He missed the Shock Blast. I think maybe the mist came down on time.
Missed, yeah, also he
looks like it would
he has phase rush, right? So he can just keep going for these short trades as long as it's up. And especially with Ghostblade, he will never be able, Grim won't be able to run it down. It doesn't have Ghost either, it's just Flash. But I struggle to find a consistent win con for DK that doesn't rely on KT making some huge mistakes. Because Ryze can carry a fight when left alone. Cuz can carry a fight when he's this far ahead when left alone. And then the same for Perfect. So there are so many threats on the KT comp, and I haven't seen a good engage from Barrow in I don't know how many games or series, but it's been a good amount. And barring that, Lucid needs to have an owner-esque performance.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really been playing up to that level. Because aiming alone just can't do it.
Yeah.
He's just a Kaisa.
It feels like if KT are engaging into DK's comp, the Lilia should be able to find angles. Just so many of the last bunch of fights have been so broken up, and like KT getting pick after pick.
They're just messy.
And that's, yeah, it's messy, but when you're dealing with, you know, Ryze, Wukong, and Leona that are ahead, they just keep looking for these picks, and DK are not able to respond to it very well.
Chiu, I think, looking for a TP. At least waiting in the brush for now. Might clear out the wave. Do they want to go for this? Herald's crashing mid. Might just let them have it. Leave it at that. Lucid is stacking his passive. I think it's already too late.
It's pretty late. I mean, Lucid nearly got in there. That was kind of close.
He is very
running in a straight line at them. But instead, it's just another Ocean Drake over to KT.
So, again, the craziest thing, they're only 2k gold down.
Yeah, she was up on gold.
That's just not how the game is feeling.
Well, the short trade comes through, and now he's just TPing away. He's trying to, at least, and he should be able to.
Good play.
I mean,
well,
blew his TP, but at least he didn't die.
As good as you get in that position, right? Push too far, new Cuz was collapsing. Uses TP. Doesn't mean Perfect's gonna have TP advantage. 2 items done for Cuz. Sundered Sky, Triforce as well. BDD, would not be surprised to see him go for the stopwatch next. And Showmaker just hit his spike. That's the 2-item spike for Corki, everyone.
Yep.
It's here. Yeah!
Let's do the Otacon.
Hail
Hey!
Mary. Might as well.
Well, they know. They know this is happening.
You get the TP. You can now leave. You got the... No.
Or they could pull it and win the smite.
Well, they did.
Like they did in
they
game
did get
one.
it last time.
And
It
KT
worked.
is not here because Izzo, he gets into the pit just barely and steals it away, and Barrel's just, he's just gone. He's out of the fight immediately because pretty low, but now you've got the front line as Perfect just runs them down. The TP comes in the Realm Warp. They get behind them. Aiming doing a good job of kiting, but he just doesn't have a team. It's a Quadra for the Gwen, and Aiming says absolutely not. You get out of here with that. And KT doesn't really care because they won the fight in a big way and got the Otacon.
4 for 2. Lucid. The smites have generally been pretty solid, but in this time, not gonna be enough. Old man Cuz still got the hands. Gets the smite, and
Like, where's my smite button?
Barrel's tossed, I think, with keeping him out.
1388.
But yeah, wow. I guess it was combined with the 4th shot.
Jin shot, yeah.
Must be. That was a crazy timing, actually.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Like that's not really smiteable.
Hard to even really blame Lucid. I mean, Cuz is able to smite it, sure, but
It's a Hail Mary, right?
it's a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I don't.
Really, the issue was, please, please, please. Please give me, get the slow. He wanted the penta. Come on, guys. Please help me. And, well, they tried, but Aiming did flash. He also had cleanse available, and he was like full health, so unfortunate Perfect, but no. That would have been a great story, though. He comes back in after 31 days and gets a pentakill against DK.
It's been raining penas. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, even without Smolder and Zeri in the meta.
Things are looking dire for DK fans. Things are looking great for KT fans. And I feel like between those two, KT fans have had it more rough recently. Because we do have the Baron as an objective now. It's the one thing, just don't throw a Baron, KT, and I think you're golden. They got possible Ocean Soul in a little bit. It's fine, they're just baiting out. They're looking for an engage.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're ahead, but this isn't like an unlosable game. This isn't like that game that I actually called unlosable that they almost lost. Ooh, near engage from Peter. He's level 10, he's almost level 11 for his
Ocean
next
Rift
ult.
as well. There's so little vision.
Yeah.
DK, not gonna fall for it. Hey, why would KT do this when you can just play for the Drake, where there isn't the risk, and even if you lose, it's very hard to imagine a scenario where DK smite Dragon, win the fight, and like get out so you don't get Nash, and you can just give it up. Yeah, I don't think you really care. As yet, DK is still very clear, like, can we maybe a little bit of control? Peter is up 2 levels, real levels, by the way.
Yeah.
No, it's fake levels.
Not technical.
Technically.
Yeah. Not figuratively either. Just actually 2 levels up.
And you can, even in the player camps, you can just see it. DK, not looking good. Perfect, talking a lot, chewing his gum.
He's just so locked in today.
This is also something that we've been, again, we got to see with Perfect. I think he played his best at the beginning of his debut, and then when the team started struggling, you could really see him not be able to cope with the pressure. He was getting focused. I think it was summer playoffs. And then after that, it really did feel like his champion pool was suffering. He wasn't able to show the same performance. As I guess we're just going to give Ocean Soul, which does make sense. Really think that DK is in a position, but
they can't do anything about it.
yeah. Well, see, they're going to start Nash, and
They do it so quickly, but
BDD is going to Realm Warp over. And then this is all or nothing. Well,
they can't do Baron.
Yeah, they have to. They don't have a choice. And then they're going to Realm Up over. And
All right.
the flip's going to come through.
Yeah, I mean, the Hail Mary is there, and they just have to back away. They're just being pelted by Jin right now.
Dead.
And meanwhile, Zeus is dead. And it's not a leash, but it basically is. KT, they get the free kill. They say, thank you very much, buddy. And maybe we'll just take the objective.
Yeah, that's Soul. That's Nash. And what a fall from grace for a team that was, we knew, not really our #1 team during LCK Cup, but watching them gets 2-0'd by KT, which really, maybe that means that they are good, but the level of gameplay just doesn't back it up. As you take a look, the Hail Mary Baron. KT, no. Realm Warp comes through, even without the Realm Warp. Duck just sets up shop. If they're ever going to get that shield, yeah, what are you going to do? Ends up going down. Aiming is almost level 16.
He's just... All right, we're really going for some Fnatic rush strats.
Oh, I have to. And you see the entirety of KT playing together.
And this game, you said it before, but it really just feels like desperation from DK.
But it's felt that way starting level 4.
Yeah.
Even though
the whole
it's not warranted.
Well, we got a bit of a flank going on.
Perfect knows, but I don't like
it's level 16 Gwen with flash.
Way.
Yeah. I don't think you do anything, and he's just going to flash away. And now we got the needles in a barrel, and they just dive under the turret. They don't care. Down goes Beryl, and they even have the wave here. Oh, some Krugs on your way, why not?
They even have the wave here.
They even have the wave here. Flash over the wall.
But he did. He did. He did flash over the wall.
And it might just be Dunzo from here. KT pushing with Baron, and you can see that DK just do not have any signs of life. They're trying to clear the wave. Showmaker nearly loses his head to the rise. BDD just running at him. And that will be the first inhibitor. They'll take the mid inhibitor as well with the Gwen push. Nice timing here from Perfect. And they don't have the top inner turret, so looks like that'll be the end of that push for now. They could just go top if they don't want to spend their gold, if they feel like they're far enough ahead. Huge damage coming out from just Duck Dom. And that really just shows where this team is at right now.
It's actually unlosable, Valdez.
I think from here it is.
We've reached the stage where even a KT game is unlosable.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
KT are the stable team. We expected both of these teams to be unstable. That's why we thought it was going to be such a crazy back and forth.
One of them is.
One of them is. One of them fulfilled their destiny. The other one, KT, what are you doing, guys? You're looking too good. We don't know how to interpret this at the LCK. What does it mean? What did KT mean by this? Yeah. This isn't the 3-gamer banger that we were hoping for. And Beryl's just going to kind of throw an underhand softball made of tissue paper into KT. I mean, they're so far behind now that it's really hard to say much, but yeah. Might just mean that KT ends it here, and maybe that's what at this point, it's really unsalvageable. And even that is going to be a shot from Duck Dom straight into the heart of the DK fans, and straight into the heart of Shiyu as well. 31 minutes, that'll be the end of game 2. KT takes it down, clean 2-0.